What's up, everybody? Jersey Puffs here, and that was a little highlight from this clip of one of my like favorite moments in this clip in particular. This is going to be a full match. You will see jump cups here and there, but don't worry about it. This is Rainbow Six Siege open beta. The game is going to come out in a few days on the December 7th or December 1st, I believe, or 2nd. And I must say, like, so far, based off the beta, the game runs pretty well. I've rarely had any, like, server crashes or anything like that, or lag. The only reason why I had lag, I've had instances of lag, but it was because of my internet's pretty bad. But so far, like, the servers, they feel pretty smooth when you're actually in a game. The matchmaking, I think the matchmaking might be a little messed up. I'm not so sure what they base the statistics on, because like I've been mostly playing casual, and I'm telling you this right here. I've been playing with like people who played ranked like since closed beta. So I don't think the matchmaking is really up to par, in my honest opinion, because sometimes I get matched up with people who are really good, like ridiculous, and my teammates are on my level who just started playing the video game. And there are times where, you know, I get paired up with professionals who are actually using communication, and that's one of the cool things about this game. Like, one of the things that I really like about this game is that if you have a microphone, if you're using coordination, I mean, it's so much fun when you actually start talking to your teammates and tell them, hey, let's infiltrate, let's blow this up, let's go here, let's do that. You know, it's pretty awesome. It feels really good when things come up Millhouse. But the problem is, like, for some reason my microphone does not work. I have a Blue Yeti, and yet, like, my microphone does not work for this game. Like, I've tried everything. I've reset my computer, I unplugged everything. I try to mess with the settings in this game. I've done it in this clip, but I've deleted it out because I thought it was just unnecessary. But yeah, I have messed with the settings, and I don't know how to fix it, but for some reason my microphone does not work. Even some people who are like, I disabled my microphone, they still have their microphone activated, like, as an open mic. So that to me is really funny. Like, I don't know how you can mess that up, but seemingly it's an issue, you know. People who disable their microphones, they're still talking. People who are trying to talk can't talk at all. So I'm not so sure what's going on with that, but please fix that, because again, like, one of the biggest things about this game is, in fact, teamwork, emphasis on teamwork, talking and communicating and letting people know. Like, this game does remind me of Counter-Strike, based off of the patience, knowing when to attack, and like all these tactics. It's very different, however, but it does remind me of, like, it does take those elements from Counter-Strike, and that's what I really like about this game. I do like Counter-Strike. Personally, I think the aiming isn't really that good. You can literally just spam, and hopefully you get a kill. You don't really have to aim that well. Obviously, if you have good aiming, you do good. But I'm saying, like, there isn't really a huge skill factor when it comes to, like, aiming your weapon, in my honest opinion. The real skill is communicating with your team, telling them what you need to do, and when to attack, and when not to attack, and which area you should infiltrate, and when and how. Like, 3 minutes in this game is actually a very long time. It feels like it drags out. Like, you may think, like, up on top, 3 minutes trying to complete the objectives is not enough time. It actually is, and which is really nice. So you will definitely have enough time to coordinate attacks and do all that jibber jabber and stuff like that. It's very useful. Another thing that I like, one of the things I don't like, however, is, like, there's a camera right there. You can see it flashing in the top right, or to the right side of my gun. that means that, like, you know, one of my teammates is using it, and if the enemy sees it, then they can shoot it. I think, like, the cameras are pre-placed, so when you get really good, you can destroy those cameras whenever you want to. So, because, like, you'll know where all the placements are. I don't think that they randomize the spot, and right now my teammate is using the camera right now just to identify where that enemy is by holding X. You can see on the bottom where it says scan for enemies, to indicate non-verbally that an enemy is there. But however, if you do that, the enemy team will get a notification that will say, like, you've been spotted. So then they'll be like, oh, I've been spotted. Well, there's a camera. I'm gonna go and shoot it, and they can see it where it's at and what's happening, and they can easily take that out, which I think is like, it can be a problem, in my honest opinion. I think that if there's a way that the cameras can get randomized a little bit, I don't know, so that way it changes up their position, so that way that the enemy can't really know exactly where to shoot all the time. I think that would be a little bit helpful. Also, one of the things that I've kind of noticed as I was playing this game is that sometimes, you know, like, depending on where the bomb is located, your teammates will kind of, like, do the same old rinse and repeat type of methods. Obviously, if you had a coordinative team, you would always do, like, you know, like, you would probably change up, like, your positions, what classes you would be, most of the time. Like, I think that would be kind of fun if teammates actually did that, but not a lot of people did do that. They kind of just gravitated towards what they already knew. That's what I've noticed. I don't know if that's the game's fault, but there are options where you can change up your methods quite a bit and do something different to kind of just, like, keep the other enemy on their toes, so that way they don't know what you're doing if you're gonna infiltrate. Sometimes, like, you know, I get surprised if an enemy, like, comes from the roof and they just, like, blow up the floors above us and just drops down and starts going ham. And sometimes it surprises me when they blow up a window and they just, like, pop in and, you know, wreak havoc. And sometimes, you know, blowing up through a wall is, you know, like, this game does change quite a bit depending on your teammates, but sometimes, man, your teammates, again, I don't know if it's the matchmaking or whatever, but your teammates, they go to, they don't know what they're doing most of the time. And again, it's hard to communicate if my microphone doesn't work. I don't know if it's with everybody else, but if it's just with my microphone, and here I fall on accident. I think everybody falls on accident their first time playing. But yeah, I think that would be something that you definitely need to fix for sure. The guns themselves, they all, like, each class has their own, like, set of guns. Either it's like a shotgun or a submachine gun or an assault rifle or a semi-automatic rifle. And here I go, like, redeem myself from falling on the thing, falling on the floor. That was one of my favorite moments, and I felt really cool about that. And I'll talk more about, like, some of the fun stuff that happens in this game when it does. It happens quite often, but the guns, they tend to feel the same, to be honest. Like, you know, each class has, again, like, their own, like, submachine gun. Well, it feels like everybody else has the same machine gun. Like, it doesn't really feel like this gun in particular will be better or worse. They just feel the same. So submachine guns will act like submachine guns, assault rifles will act like assault rifles, shotguns will act like shotguns, and vice versa. It's just like, I don't know if that would be, like, an entire, like, a problem within itself.
He's on the bottom
maybe like, have your own, like give the option of your of your class to, like, pick any of the weapons. Not necessarily any, like, some classes, they can only have a shotgun or a submachine gun as an option. So give us a variety of that, rather than, you know, you only get this submachine gun that we choose for you and blah blah blah. But again, like, upon playing the game, I'm not so sure if it really does make a difference of what you choose as your submachine gun. Like there's a P90 there, and then there's like other guns like an MP5, and I don't know, that like they just feel very the same. Like they feel like how submachine guns and whatever will feel like. Now the classes, they have their own certain abilities, not so much to make one like powerful as like a like a solo player. The classes are meant to be used as a team tactical type of stuff. Like depending on who you are, like there's mute, there's that Kaplan dude. I think that's Kaplan, and recruit is just like when you start off, you don't get any classes, but you get to choose whatever weapons you want to use. But like each one has their own like set of abilities. Like mute can put jammers, so that way it can block out signal, or like not signals, but it can disrupt those little race car drones. And that Kaplan dude can set traps, and then there's one where you can reinforce your barricades to make them a lot more stronger, so that way enemies can't really break through like those barriers with the yellow axes on them with just like their melee attacks. Like you have to actually like really like blow it up or some stuff like that. And there's one where like a class can put shock charges on barricades or on razor wire traps. It's actually kind of cool, and it doesn't really like make the game harder or better for the other team. It's just there, so that way like it's like an add-on. It's like a bonus. The classes are just like bonuses. I haven't really encountered anybody who's like really, really tough. There's a lot of classes too, and I wasn't able to like view through them all, but the ones that I personally like Glaz or something, like the sniper dude. I only chose the stuff that I personally really liked. Unfortunately, the ones that I really like, other people liked as well. So you can only choose one class on each team, so you gotta choose wisely. And which also kind of sucks, really, because like if you unlock a class where you like that you really like, that that you're gonna be good with, and whatnot, if somebody else takes it, you have to like use recruit, and you have to unlock the classes using renown points. Now I may have an issue with that, but I kind of view it as kind of like COD points, like in Black Ops 1, where like you get a bunch of like revenue, and and that's an example of like not to fire from your hip, FYI. But yeah, I kind of like view it as COD points, and I like the whole idea of COD points, to be honest.
I got him.
But I didn't like the idea that you had to level up to unlock a certain thing in order for you to buy it. But yeah, they're pretty much COD points in general, and you can unlock like any class using those renown points, and you can also unlock any of the attachments on your guns using your renown points. Now also like navigating through the menu is a little bit confusing, to be honest. Like the menu in the startup, when you start up this game, it's kind of confusing, but it's not really that bad. This game runs fine on my rig. I get 60 frames per second. It's totally fine. It's nice and buttery smooth. The servers may be a little iffy, maybe, or maybe it's just my internet. And sometimes, most of the times, the matchmaking is actually really bad. And one of the maps, again, it's like in the docks area. I will post up more videos of stuff like this eventually, like a kind of like a montage of like my favorite moments. But there's like a map where like you're in the docks, and it's just a cluster butt. Like I hate that map so much. This is one of the more fun ones where it's pretty simple, but it's still pretty big, and there's still a lot of like tactical like a bunch of different tactics that you can apply on this map. So yeah, overall, like I think this game is actually really, really fun. I don't know if there's like a single player. I think they kind of just avoided that, and they wanted to have like the multiplayer. And right here I'm just scanning for a bunch of enemies because I died, and that's all I can do. But it's really fun. There's a lot going on for this game. It gets very overwhelming, but eventually like you'll be able to find out what you can do. Like you'll find a middle ground. But that's the end of this video. I'm really excited for this game, and if you guys are excited too, let me know. If you guys enjoyed a video like this, let me know. I might post more up on my channel, and I'll see you guys later. Peace and love.